Sigmas, have you ever noticed how people seem uncomfortable around you? How they either envy you or secretly despise you? There's a reason for that, and today we're exposing the truth. Why is it that Sigma, males the ones who mind their own business, chase their own goals, and don't conform to society's rules, are the most hated group? What is it about you that threatens people so much? Picture this. A man walks into a room. He doesn't seek attention. He doesn't try to impress anyone. But within moments, all eyes are on him. Some admire him. Some resent him. Some don't even know why, but they just don't like him. That's the Sigma effect, powerful, mysterious, and often misunderstood. Sigmas aren't hated because they do something wrong. They're hated because they do something different. And in a world that thrives on control and conformity, different is dangerous. When you're the only one who sees things differently, the world will call you insane. Friedrich Nietzsche. Let's break this down, Sigmas. Here's why you are the most hated group and why that's actually a good thing. Number one, you can't be controlled. Society is built on structure and conformity. From a young age, people are conditioned to follow trends, obey authority, and seek external validation. The system thrives when individuals stay in line, predictable and controllable. But as Sigma, you don't fit the mold. You question the rules, think for yourself, and refuse to be influenced by fleeting trends or societal expectations. This taps into the concept of reactance theory, a psychological principle stating that when people feel their freedom is being restricted, they push back. Sigmas embody this instinct naturally. You operate independently, making decisions based on logic and self-awareness rather than external pressures. And that, it makes you a disruptor. Those who thrive on control see your defiance as a threat because they can't manipulate what they don't understand. But while society may resist men, like you, history proves that the ones who refuse to conform are the ones who change the world. Number two, you don't play the social game. Most people are caught in an endless struggle for status, seeking validation, climbing social ladders, and competing for dominance. Society conditions men to believe that their worth is tied to how well they fit into a hierarchy. Alphas lead, betas follow, and everyone plays their role. But a Sigma, you reject the game entirely. This taps into status independence, a psychological trait where an individual operates outside traditional social hierarchies. Studies show that people who don't seek approval are often perceived as more powerful and unpredictable. This is why both alphas and betas feel uneasy around you. Alphas dominate by commanding attention, but you remain unaffected by their presence. Betas seek leadership, but you don't offer it. This puts you in a unique position, one that others don't quite understand. They don't know whether to admire you for your self-sufficiency or fear you for your unpredictability. Either way, they can't ignore you. Number three, you're unpredictable. Most men are easy to categorize. They're either leaders who demand attention or followers who seek validation. But a Sigma, you exist outside of these definitions. One moment you take charge with quiet confidence. The next you detach completely. You engage on your terms, never out of obligation. This unpredictability creates intrigue. Psychologically, humans fear and obsess over the unknown. The ambiguity effect explains that people struggle with uncertainty, often feeling uneasy when they can't label or predict someone's behavior. Your ability to move in and out of situations without attachment leaves people questioning, analyzing, and ultimately fascinated. This is why Sigmas naturally command respect. Others rely on external validation, but you're driven by something deeper, internal purpose. Your detachment isn't coldness, it's self-mastery. And while most fear what they can't understand, they can't help but be drawn to it. Because mystery, after all, is the greatest form of power. Number four, your confidence comes from within. Most people tie their confidence to external validation, wealth, physical appearance, or social recognition. Their self-worth fluctuates based on how others perceive them. But a Sigma, your confidence is built from within. It isn't dictated by praise, popularity, or material success. You don't need constant reassurance, because your sense of self is unshakable. Psychologists refer to this as internal locus of control, the belief that one's success and happiness come from within rather than external forces. Studies show that people with this mindset are more resilient, independent, and less susceptible to peer pressure. This kind of self-assurance can be unsettling to those who rely on outside approval. Insecure individuals struggle to understand how a man can be so content without validation. It challenges their worldview. But that's what makes a Sigma different. You don't just have confidence, you are confidence. And that is what truly sets you up. Number 5, you don't engage in drama. In a society where attention seeking and gossip dominate interactions, a Sigma's refusal to engage is both rare and unsettling to others. Studies in psychology reveal that drama thrives on emotional reactions. Without them, conflict loses its power. When you remain indifferent to petty arguments and social theatrics, it disrupts the usual dynamics. People who rely on drama for validation feel powerless around you because you don't feed their need for conflict. Your silence, your lack of emotional investment, it frustrates them. While they seek chaos, you embody control. And in a world fueled by noise, your calm presence speaks volumes. Number 6, you're mysterious, and that drives people crazy. People naturally fear what they can't categorize, and Sigma males exist outside the usual social labels. Psychologists call this the ambiguity effect. Humans prefer predictability because the unknown feels threatening. When you don't overshare, don't seek validation, and don't conform, it unsettles people. They can't figure you out, and that frustrates them. Most men fit neatly into predefined roles: alpha, beta, follower, leader. But you operate on your own terms. You reveal only what you choose, maintain emotional discipline, and let people in at your discretion. This mystery isn't just intriguing, it's powerful. And that's why they can't ignore you. Number 7, you force people to reflect on themselves. When you enter a room, you don't seek attention, it finds you. Your quiet confidence, self-sufficiency, and independence act as a mirror reflecting back to others what they lack. It's human nature to compare. And when people sense your discipline, purpose, and ability to stand alone, they begin questioning themselves. This reaction is rooted in social comparison theory, which suggests that people measure their own worth by comparing themselves to others. Instead of being inspired to improve, many take the easier route: resentment. It's not that they hate you personally. They hate what your presence reminds them of their own insecurities, lack of direction, or dependence on external validation. Rather than self-reflecting, most choose to project. They criticize, dismiss, or undermine you because accepting your strength would mean confronting their weaknesses. But a Sigma doesn't shrink to make others comfortable. You keep moving forward unaffected while they remain stuck. Number 8, you're a natural leader without trying. Sigmas don't chase leadership roles yet. They often find themselves in positions of influence. This isn't by force or ambition, but by the undeniable strength of their independence, composure, and strategic thinking. Unlike traditional leaders who rely on status or hierarchy, Sigmas lead through action and example. Their ability to stay calm under pressure and make precise decisions makes them invaluable in any setting. Psychologists refer to this as emergent leadership, when someone naturally rises to leadership due to their competence rather than their title. Studies show that people are drawn to those who exhibit confidence, decisiveness, and emotional stability traits Sigmas embody effortlessly. This intimidates those who spent years climbing the social ladder only to see a Sigma surpass them without even trying. While others fight for recognition, Sigmas gain respect simply by being themselves, and that quiet dominance. It's far more powerful than any title or rank. Number 9, you value logic over emotion. In a world where emotions often dictate decisions, a Sigma stands apart by relying on logic and rational thinking. While many people react impulsively, driven by fear, guilt, or social pressure, you analyze situations objectively. This makes you unpredictable to those who thrive on emotional manipulation. Psychologists refer to this as emotional detachment, the ability to separate feelings from facts. Studies show that people who rely on logic tend to make better long-term decisions and resist peer pressure more effectively. This is why emotionally driven individuals often resent you. They can't sway you with guilt trips or dramatic outbursts. Your calm, measured approach creates a power dynamic where others feel exposed. When someone tries to manipulate you and fails, they become frustrated because their usual tactics don't work. Instead of reacting emotionally, you maintain control, leaving them powerless. In a world ruled by emotions, your ability to remain rational is both rare and formidable. Number 10, you don't seek approval. Most people shape their lives around external validation, seeking approval from friends, society, and social media. They measure their worth through likes, opinions, and acceptance. But as Sigma, you operate on an entirely different level. You don't chase approval, and that makes you unpredictable, unshakable, and in many ways, dangerous to a system that thrives on control. Psychologically, this aligns with locus of control theory people. With an internal locus of control, like Sigmas believe, they shape their own destiny. They don't rely on external approval to define their worth, making them resistant to manipulation. When you don't seek validation, no one can use it against you. This kind of independence commands respect. People may not always understand you, but they recognize your strength. In a world where most follow you, stand apart, not because you try to, but because self-sufficiency is your natural state. And that is power. Sigmas, you are hated not because you are weak, but because you are strong. You are feared not because you are wrong, but because you refuse to follow the herd. You are misunderstood not because you are lost, but because you are free. And that is the biggest threat to a world that thrives on control. Sigmas, if this video spoke to you, hit that like button and subscribe to join this community of men who refuse to be ordinary. Apply these truths, embrace your Sigma nature, and keep walking the path of the unstoppable. Having said this,